The oceans hold memories older than mountains, older than forests, older even than the dinosaurs themselves. But there was a time, hundreds of millions of years before the first human thought, when these waters were the true rulers of Earth. A time when strange creatures glided through ancient seas, where sunlight faded into darkness and giants moved in silence. This is the story of a world beneath the waves, a world that shaped the destiny of life long before land became home to anything with legs. Long before the rise of the great reptiles of the land, the oceans had already become laboratories of evolution. With no boundaries, no walls, and endless frontiers of water, life experimented with form and function. Teeth sharpened, fins grew longer, bodies grew faster. Predator and prey entered an arms race that would last tens of millions of years. Imagine diving into those ancient waters now. The surface breaks above you, and the world shifts instantly. Light becomes liquid gold. Shadows drift like living clouds. Beneath the shimmering ceiling of the ocean, an empire of creatures stirs, some familiar, others beyond imagination. Here, in this vast underwater kingdom, prehistoric life flourished. At the top of the food chain swam the mosasaurs. They were not dinosaurs, yet they ruled the seas with equal dominance. Long serpentine bodies, jaws like bear traps, double-hinged to swallow prey whole. Their paddle-like limbs sliced through water with terrifying grace. Some stretched over 15 meters, longer than a city bus. A sudden flick of their tail could unleash a burst of speed powerful enough to shatter the silence of the deep. No fish, no reptile, no creature stood above them. The oceans belonged to the mosasaurs, and everything else survived at their mercy. But they were not alone. Further out in open waters glided the plesiosaurs, the elegant hunters of the ancient seas. With impossibly long necks and compact bodies, they slipped through the water like living sculptures. Their wide paddle fins beat in perfect rhythm, almost bird-like in their movement. Some species lunged forward like underwater falcons, striking fish with lightning precision. Others hovered in the gloom, waiting for an unsuspecting creature to pass. With every movement, they proved that even in prehistory, beauty and danger were often the same thing. But the oceans did not belong only to giants. Dive deeper still, beyond the reach of sunlight, and another world emerges. Strange drifting forms glow in the darkness. Spiraled shells spin slowly, as if floating through time itself. These are the ammonites, distant relatives of octopuses and squids. For over 300 million years, their swirling shells were among the most recognizable shapes of the ancient seas. They survived mass extinctions, shifting climates, and evolving predators. Their world was a dance of movement, using jets of water to glide, weaving between predators with mesmerizing spirals of color and texture. Entire ecosystems formed around them, feeding on them, sheltering from them, evolving because of them. Life in the ancient oceans was not static. It was a constant push toward innovation. And then, from the murky shadows, came the early sharks. Not the sleek hunters we know today. These were bizarre, experimental designs of evolution. Some had massive heads shaped like anvils. Others had spiraling tooth whorls, like saw blades curling from their jaws. Still others glowed faintly in the darkness, using bioluminescence before plants had even appeared on land. Here, in this unending sea, ancient sharks perfected the art of predation long before dinosaurs drew their first breath. They patrolled reefs, stalked the open waters, and hunted with instincts honed by millions of years of evolution. Now rise closer to the surface. See the waves churn above swirling schools of fish, their silvery scales catching the light like floating stars. These oceans were alive in every direction. Nothing was still. Nothing was guaranteed. Every creature was both hunter and hunted. Near volcanic coastlines, superheated vents poured minerals into the sea, feeding clouds of microorganisms that powered entire food webs. Reefs expanded like living cities. Forests of coral rose from the seabed. Crabs, sea scorpions, armored fish, all fought for survival in a world without mercy. This was not chaos. This was life discovering itself. But the oceans were not always peaceful. With no warning, storms the size of continents raged above, sending walls of water crashing into the deep. Light vanished. Temperatures dropped. Creatures fled into darkness while predators circled the edges of turbulence. And beneath the surface, Earth itself continued to shift. Continents drifted like slow giants. Underwater mountains formed and collapsed. New seas opened. Old ones dried into memory. Each change rewrote the rules of survival. Through it all, the ancient marine predators adapted, evolved, and reigned. Now picture the most dramatic moment of all. A mosasaur rises from the deep, jaws open wide, pursuing a fleeing plesiosaur. The chase is silent, deadly, elegant. The plesiosaur twists, weaving between shimmering shoals of fish. The mosasaur lunges again, closer, closer. And then the ocean explodes with motion. Fish scatter, shadows swirl. The plesiosaur darts left. The mosasaur surges forward. This was the intensity of life below the surface. No words. No mercy, only instinct. These waters forged some of the most extraordinary creatures the planet has ever known. Yet for all their power, all their dominance, the rulers of these seas shared the same fate as all things: time. Mass extinctions shook the oceans more than once. Entire species vanished. New ones rose. The world changed again and again, reshaped by climate, chemistry, and cosmic chance. But the memory of those ancient oceans remains. In every reef, in every shoreline, in every ripple of the modern sea, you can still feel the echoes of the creatures that once ruled here. Giants gliding in blue silence, hunters cutting through darkness, ammonites swirling through drifting sunlight. They ruled the world long before we existed. Their story is our planet's earliest chapter of power, beauty, and survival. And as we rise back toward the surface, returning to our own time, one truth becomes clear. The oceans were Earth's first kingdom, and their ancient inhabitants were its first kings. In the next episode, we'll dive deeper into the prehistoric world above the waves, where land began to change, forests grew taller, and new creatures prepared to inherit the earth. If this journey through the ancient oceans stirred your imagination, stay with me. Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next chapter of our story. The rise and ruin of Earth's forgotten ages.